If you're over 60 and you start your morning with a glass of milk because someone once told you it's good for your bones and your health, I want you to keep watching for the next few minutes because there's something about that habit that most people never question. Here's what that way actually means. Drinking milk alone, first thing, and quietly expecting it to also cover something it was never built for, your circulation. This isn't about telling you milk is wrong. Milk still has a real place. It's genuinely useful for bones and for protein. But if part of you is also hoping it helps with cold hands, cold feet, or that foggy afternoon energy dip, that's a different job, and it's simply not the one milk was ever meant to do. So what actually helps with that side of things? That's what this video is about. And the answer isn't a supplement, and it's not something you have to buy in bulk. Let's just name what's actually going on. Because you're probably not here for the milk. You're here because something in your body has been asking for attention. Maybe it's your hands or feet feeling cold even in a warm room. Maybe it's that dip in energy by mid-afternoon that used to be a lot rarer. Maybe it's a bit of mental fog, or every once in a while, a brief moment of lightheadedness when you stand up quickly. That last one is worth a quick aside. If it happens occasionally, it's often nothing unusual, but if it happens often, it's genuinely worth mentioning to a doctor, since it can have a number of different causes and deserves a proper look, not just a home remedy. For the more everyday things, the cold hands, the afternoon dip, none of that means something is wrong with you. It's simply one of the more common things people notice as circulation becomes a little less efficient with age. And here's the important part. Hydration alone doesn't fully address it. So what actually helps blood move a bit more the way it used to? Let's talk about why this happens in the first place, in plain terms. Think of your blood vessels less like rigid pipes and more like a garden hose. When a hose is soft and flexible, water flows through it smoothly. When that same hose gets stiffer with age, a little less bendy, a little narrower, the water still gets through, just with more resistance, and less reaches the far end of the yard as easily. Something similar happens with your blood vessels over time. Many researchers point to a molecule your body naturally produces called nitric oxide, which helps blood vessels relax and open up a little. The way that hose becomes more flexible again. Some research suggests that certain foods and drinks may support this process, essentially giving your body a bit more of the raw material it needs to keep that flexibility going. That's simply a different piece of the puzzle than what milk covers. So which drinks are we actually talking about? I'll walk you through them in a moment. But first, a quick reminder. If you're the kind of person who likes learning small, practical things that actually make sense, not fads, not miracle cures, just simple daily habits, this is exactly the kind of channel for you. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. One quick heads up before we get into it. A couple of these drinks are worth a word of caution if you're on certain medications, so keep that in mind as we go. I'll cover it properly near the end. For now, let's get into the 3 specific drinks people ask us about most. Starting simple. A glass of warm water with fresh lemon. First thing in the morning, it's an easy habit to build into your routine, since it takes about 30 seconds and no special ingredients. The citrus in lemon provides vitamin C, and some research suggests that vitamin C may help support the same nitric oxide process we just talked about, alongside general hydration, which matters more than people give it credit for. On its own, it's a light nudge in the right direction. Paired with what's coming next, it starts to matter more. Next is hibiscus tea, and this one tends to surprise people, because it doesn't get talked about nearly as much as it should. Some early research has looked at hibiscus tea in connection with healthier blood pressure readings, though that research is still fairly limited, and it's far from conclusive. Where a link has been suggested, some researchers think it may relate to blood vessel relaxation, the same flexible hose idea from earlier. But this is still an area worth watching rather than something settled. It's not a fast fix, and nobody should expect an overnight transformation. But as a steady once-a-day habit, maybe replacing an afternoon coffee, many people say it becomes one of the easier changes to stick with. And there's one more drink that a lot of people say ties everything together. This is the one people usually ask about most. And it's a combination of beet juice and pomegranate juice in a small glass once a day, often in the morning, though some people prefer it in the early evening instead. Beets are naturally rich in dietary nitrates, which your body can convert into nitric oxide. That same molecule we talked about earlier, the one tied to blood vessels relaxing and widening. This is one of the more well-established parts of the whole picture. Pomegranate has its own research behind it too, with some studies linking it to healthier blood flow and vessel function over time. With consistent use, some people do report noticing a difference over time, though there's no set timeline, and everyone's body responds differently. So this isn't something we can promise. This is really the piece that sits alongside milk rather than replacing it. Milk still has its job, bones, protein. This is about something else, entirely helping your circulatory system do what it's designed to do a little more easily. One more small thing a lot of people overlook: a short walk, even 5 or 10 minutes, shortly after one of these drinks. Movement itself supports circulation on its own, and pairing it with the habit is more of a practical tip than a research finding. But it's a simple way to stack 2 good habits together instead of just one, and it takes almost no extra time out of your day. Before you run out and try any of this, a real word of caution. If you're on blood pressure medication, nitrate medication, or you manage a kidney condition, please talk to your doctor before adding beet juice, pomegranate juice, or hibiscus tea to your routine. These can interact with certain medications, and a kidney condition changes how your body processes some of these compounds. This video is meant to inform, not replace medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If something feels off in your body, a conversation with your doctor is always the right first step. None of this is about chasing a miracle or expecting instant results. It's about small, consistent choices, the kind that add up quietly over weeks and months, not overnight. If today's video gave you one thing worth trying tomorrow morning, that's a win. Subscribe if you'd like more simple, grounded habits like this one, and I'll see you in the next video.